Hey everyone, welcome to Sketch Your Day Live. Good to be back. Hi. More changes in the studio, but we are here. Gonna be doing some Photoshop sketching today for Sci-Fi Sunday, so hopefully you've got your beverage handy, whatever you need. I've got my hot bean juice here. So it's the first time joining. I'm Spencer. Welcome. And I like to draw. That's all you got to know for now. But feel free to ask me any questions if you want to chat. YouTube is the place to be. I can only pay attention to one thing at a time. So I am streaming on Instagram for fun. Again, I'm finding that a lot of people don't know that I actually have a YouTube channel. So if you want to chat, interact, whatnot, hit me up on YouTube. All right. So let's see here. Okay, cool. I think we're good. What's up, Latrice Mystery? Hello, hello. All right. Let's get going. Special shout out to Paul Sohi for the music. Thanks as always for hooking it up. And shout out to our patrons and channel members. I'm using my brush kit for Photoshop today. Got to warm up. I'll probably do, your standard. Maybe I'll do a hover car or something. But I'll do a quick warm up. And then I do want to draw a mech. My child was like, you should draw a giant bone monster. And I was like, hey, I only have like an hour. That would take way too long. So can't really do all that. Anyhow, really loving this new setup of the Cintiq here. I haven't really used my iPad Pro as much since I had this setup, so this has been nice. Nice to have a large drawing surface. So yeah, I hope you're having a good Sunday. Hope it's been chill for you, chill week. I know everyone has opinions on this. Controversy ahead. I got a booster shot, so I was like sick for the last, not like crazy sick, just kind of out for the last 2 days. But I'm feeling better, doing better. Heard some interesting experiences from people who got their shots. So that is all I will say. I'm not gonna fight about it. Everyone's got opinions, for sure. Anyhow, much love to you. Happy Sunday. Just doing some ellipses here to warm up. I like to take my circles and split those up, but you can also do straight lines. Try and do straight lines. I'm gonna actually give it a try this time. Anyhow, do some straight lines, ellipses, all that stuff. That's how I warm up anyways. That and usually just a quick sketch. Anyhow, it is Sci-Fi Sunday. It's Halloween month, October, Sketchtober, Inktober. Hopefully you're keeping up with whatever challenge you're participating in. I've been crazy busy. Thankful for the work, for those who've sent work my way. Much appreciated, but it's been a busy time for me. So apologies for not being around as much. Oh, I just realized I'm not sharing my screen. Hold up. There we go. Apologies. Sorry about that, YouTubers. I was like drawing away, and then I realized, oh, I'm not sharing a screen. So if you're curious about the setup I have, this is just a quick over-the-shoulder shot here in the studio. Got my Cintiq set up here, keyboard off to the side, coffee on deck, Instagram cameras over the shoulder. So anyhow, that is the setup today. You have to get your money's worth. That's right. Hey, Applejacks, what's up? No Udemy or Teachable. I am working on things. That's all I'll say. But there's so much free stuff here too on the channel. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to check that out for now. If I'm gonna teach something, I want it to be, I think, something different. So, just keep your eyes peeled for that, I guess. All right, just gonna do a quick warm-up sketch here. Really, what perspective do I want to use? What perspective? Maybe something like this. It's kind of cool. Interesting shape. I always love the stuff that Joe McCarthy does on Instagram. If you don't know who he is, check him out. But super talented dude. He's actually a designer at Leapfrog Toys. You wouldn't think it from the stuff he does on his Instagram, but he is a designer at Leapfrog. It's pretty cool. Anyhow, he has these really cool kind of futuristic sketch style that I really enjoy. Really enjoy that, so alright, it is Sci-Fi Sunday, so even if I'm doing a car, all things sci-fi, right? We gotta keep it litty. Keep it on point. Do I want to put a spoiler on this? I don't want to put a spoiler on it. Alright, rough sketch, and then we'll do a super quick paint here, and then I want to do a mech. That's what I'm gonna do. Either a mech or a spaceship, but kind of start out here. I'm using Photoshop and my brush kit, so again, if you're a Patreon or YouTube channel member, you do get those for free after 2 months. You can always hit me up and I'll hook it up if you support Sketchaday. If you don't, that's okay. You can always sign up for the newsletter, get a little discount code. Lots of ways to access stuffs. Yeah, I really like the lines in this. It's turning out all right. One of the things you can do though in Photoshop that I do like is if you want to tweak your sketch, you know, make it longer, do weird stuff to it just to stylize it, we can kind of do that and then keep sketching on it. But yeah, I'm imagining this as some sort of hover car. The nice thing about drawing on a bigger surface as well, I will say, is that you get the benefit of being able to really move your arm, and that can be really important if you're training yourself to draw. So I think with some of the smaller drawing tablets, I've noticed it's easy to get into this habit of kind of scribbling too small. And that, for me anyways, everyone's different, but for me that can kind of affect how my work turns out. So yeah, something to think about. All right, rough sketch. I think I'm just gonna go for it with color. I'll just keep it chill. All right, let's see. I'm gonna use this round brush, I want to do red because I like red. Some sort of like futuristic hover roadster.
I use comparisons to Hitler to win arguments on the internet at the drop of a hat.
Little tip for you in Photoshop. I've mentioned this before, but if you're painting with a brush and you want to use that brush to erase, just hold the tilde key and that will erase things for you. Just a sec, my phone did the stupid thing it does. Just a sec, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hey, what's up, One Mighty? What do you think about Tesla thinking of making phones and iPads? Good for them. You know, one of the challenges I think with them doing that is the big one, and that's ecosystem. So, you know, the manufacturers right now are so far ahead in terms of ecosystem. I see them having a hard time. Oops. I lost track of my selection here. I see them having a hard time actually breaking into the market outside of like competing with Google, which is fine. Maybe that's what they want, but it's definitely not going to be, I think, an Apple competitor. But I hadn't heard that rumor before, so that's interesting. Very interesting. Anyhow, yeah, sorry about the stream cutting out there. I don't know why that happened. Alright, let's just lock that. Keep it going. So yeah, that was a question on YouTube, so thanks. Tom, gonna trade in your SUV. Ooh, nice. You know, I have a Toyota Tacoma, and I like it, but at the same time, it's like not the most fuel efficient vehicle on the planet. So I've thought about it, but Not quite ready to do that. I build a lot of furniture. Maybe I should get a Cybertruck. I don't know. Although I've seen not so good things about Tesla product quality, which also makes me a little bit skittish, I guess, to get their stuff. It looks a little bit iffy. Have y'all seen that or noticed that? I've just seen lots of videos where their stuff's just like falling apart. It's not a good thing, not a good look for sure. What is happening? Okay. It's trying to paint on an invisible layer, apparently. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not a real car designer. I'm just pretending. I pretend on the weekends. What do they call that? A poser? I'm a poser. Oh, I should mention again, by the way, I'll have to repost, but this week is Adobe Max this coming week, and I have a session on working digitally, but also working on paper, kind of how I go between those. So if you're interested, check it out. That'll be on Adobe Max, and it's free this year, which is crazy. It's like normally thousands of dollars to go to that conference. I think it's normally like $3,000 or something like that. So pretty cool. You know, check it out if you check it out if you want. That is Adobe Max. And it is free. So yeah, just a little warm-up sketch here. Like I said. Hey, thanks, One Mighty. Oops. Appreciate it. coming through with the super chat. Much appreciated. Maybe you should review some user sketches and renderings. Yeah, usually I do. I haven't done in a bit, but that's a great idea. Thanks for the suggestion. It's probably something I'll reserve for patrons and channel members, actually. Yeah, I think they would have a hard time, Tom. I don't know. I don't know if it would be like as successful as people think. All right, I need more contrast in here. Let's go. Let's go. I'm also working on my. This is driving me crazy. I'm also working on my digital sketch guides, so keep an eye out for that. Of course, will be free for patrons and channel members. I'm like spending way too much time on this, so let's wrap it up. Four days straight of tats. Okay, so do you do tattoo art? Is that your main thing, One Mighty? That's cool. I've been itching to get another one. I usually design my own. I just haven't decided entirely what it's gonna be just yet. So once I figure that out, maybe I will. Alright, since I'm going fast here, I'll jump to sketch lines. Oops. So someone was telling me that with Wacom tablets, sometimes when you do the Photoshop rotate command, they kind of wig out, but I haven't had any issues. So maybe it's a PC thing. Maybe it's a memory thing. I just upgraded the memory on my Mac Pro here. Seems to have helped with a few issues I was having. But yeah, I don't know if y'all have issues if you use one of these, but let me know. I'd be curious to find out. Okay, this line is wrong. Why is this not showing through? Oh, that's why. That is why. All right, we're gonna cheat a little bit here. Sometimes when you rotate or flip your sketch, you see things you didn't see before, so I'm just going super fast today. But yeah, to answer an earlier comment about, courses and stuff like that, simple answer is yes. But I've noticed a lot of designers doing courses lately. I think it's important to make sure that if you're gonna do it, that you have actually something of value to share, and then make sure that you're actually good at teaching. So those are things I think about as I consider doing anything like that. I think I'm gonna get the skinny Wacom pen. They make a pen like this, or like they make a Wacom pen that's a little bit skinnier. This one, whenever I hold it for a long period of time, it always makes my fingers go a little bit tingly. So I think I'm gonna upgrade that. Alright, let's get these hover pads done. And I'm going to sketch a mech, which is what I really wanted to do. Hey Vasish, what's up? Is my Discord active? Okay, I turned it off for a bit because people were abusing it. So I'll turn it on for a bit after the stream, because I can't really do it right now. And then you can join up. Alright, fair enough. These are some tunes I made, by the way. I started getting into the tune game a little bit. So when you're sketching, you don't always have to have all your lines figured out. I like to, but you don't have to. In fact, if you want, sometimes you can work both ways and have your colors basically influence. All right, I'll turn it on. I'll turn it on right now, since y'all are asking. Whoa, now you're seeing all my Chrome stuff. Okay. Okay, I need to... This will take like 30 seconds. Just about. Oh, let's see. Invite people. Oh, wait a minute. How do I do this again? Invites. I totally forgot how to do this. I don't want to waste time with it, but okay, let's see. Invite people. Edit invite link. Never. All right. Copy. And I'm going to go to sketchaday.com/Discord. Okay, maybe a minute, not 30 seconds, but hang with me. Hang with me. Okay. All right, should work now. Discord link should work now, so if you want to join the Discord, feel free. Check that out. Art Studio Pro seems to work better for sketching. That's great. I think it's important to find what works for you for sure. I never did finish these hover pads. I'm just gonna keep them simple. What do y'all think of the new Apple computers? Are you getting one? Are you not getting one? For those who are Apple fans anyways, I know not everyone is, so totally understand that. They seem very expensive to me, all things considered. But then again, my Mac Pro was not cheap, but I love it. So there's that. Gotta invest to be the best, right? But the one I would want, or would even be like functional for what I do, would cost basically $4,000. And I can't justify that at all. So I mean, I could get it, but it feels frivolous to do so with where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm curious what y'all think. Are you gonna get it? Give me some advices. What's your question? Is it just me, or Procreate brushes feel off when it comes to tapering of the lines? Dislikes that setting that artificially tapers it, but without it, it's not as good. You know, I love Procreate. I love Fresco. I love Photoshop. But I think Photoshop for sure has the best brush engine. Procreate's nice in that it's a good kind of on the go solution, I think. It's a good on the go solution, but these cut lines are really weird. I'm just gonna roll with it. We'll just pretend it works somehow. Or maybe the whole thing opens, like the whole top opens or something. It looks really thick. Don't need that much power from a laptop. Yeah, I have my desktop. If I need to do any like major stuff, I can use that. So for me, it's not as important as it used to be to have the fastest laptop possible. But if I were gonna get it, the one I'd want, I think it's like $4,200 for it. Hello, Gabriel. First year industrial design student. Congratulations. Good luck to you in your studies. Any advices? I would say just make the most of it. You know, there's a lot of, I don't say this to depress you, but there's a lot of people in design school and not that many jobs out there. So if you're going to do this, make sure that you are exceptional in some way and be prepared for a lot of challenges up ahead. Be prepared to work really hard, and just make sure that you take every opportunity to learn a skill. You know, no matter what that skill is, just make sure you take an opportunity to learn to like work on something, learn a skill. Could be coding, could be video editing, whatever it is. Be a sponge. I wish I had you know, even gotten computer science as a minor when I was in college. I really should have, but I didn't. So be a sponge, soak it all up, and you'll be fine. Be kind, right? Learn to be kind. I know things are competitive, but at the same time, you know, take opportunities to help others. It's only going to help you in the long run. I learned that one early on as a student. I used to be very protective of my ideas and techniques and all the things. Granted, my program was fairly competitive, but at the same time, it doesn't help you to be unkind. So it's definitely one thing I wish I had done differently sooner. I'm definitely taking too long with this, but I'm also having fun. Hopefully you are too. Thanks again for joining. Let's see. YouTube usually, or sorry, Instagram usually tapers off. If it drops super low, I'm just gonna stop it. Maybe this will give you a better view. You IG freeloaders. Just kidding. Yeah. I think I'm in a good spot here. I mean, obviously you can keep going with these and just going and going and going, but cut it off. Then I'll do my mech. Alright. I'm good now. Where's that layer? There you are. So you can turn off my rough sketch layer. Leave what I have here. Alright, so there's my super quick hover car thing. My audio is very low. It should be fine. I haven't adjusted anything. So yeah, use headphones, see if that helps a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna save this again. All the sketches I will upload to the Patreon folder so you can get access to the PSD file should you need. All right, let's go 17 by 17. 300 DPI. Doing a little mech here. All right, just some quick guidelines. I had this idea while I was at the gym, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know if y'all remember the game Mech Warrior at all, but I had this idea or thought about doing something inspired by the game. I used to play a lot as a kid, actually. Did y'all watch Dune? What'd you think? Not Doom, which is a fine B sci-fi movie. But I mean Dune, D-U-N-E. What did y'all think? For those who did watch. It was a good warm up. I've never seen the I've never read the book, so I don't know much about it. But it would seem that the book perhaps served as some inspiration for Star Wars, which is fascinating to me. Like if you watch the movie, you can kind of see some similarities here and there. All right, some sort of cannons. I don't know if I want to do arms yet, but maybe I'll just scribble them in for now. Yeah, I'm not really feeling the arms. So I'm just going to merge these together because I don't really care about the perspective lines. This way I can do some transforms like so. You know, if I want to give a little bit more air between the body and the cockpit. We can play with that. Maybe, even if that was in front or if you want to put that behind. So some really cool things you can do, again, digitally. Oops. If you,
Yeah, bro.
if you want to while you're working. And the other thing I say to people, if you're trying to do this kind of thing, at least for me, one of the things I found helpful is like studying construction equipment, things like that. Can kind of help you get an idea of how things fit together, hydraulics and such. If you want to include those, or in my case here, obscuring some details here and there. Or if you want to do the hydraulic thing, kind of helps to know a little bit of how this stuff works. How about all of you? Are you like the type of person that likes to spend 3 hours on a drawing, or are you more like, what, I just want to get some quick stuff out? I'm definitely quick draw McGee. That way I don't like to sit and work on things for too long. So if I can help it, I did do a rendering for a client this past week. No, I can't show it to you. But I did a rendering, not this week, but the week before. Was it this week? Everything's blurring together. Anyhow, did a rendering, took like 6 hours, but it had to be done by hand sketch. So one thing I also try to do with my digital sketches is keep things loose, keep them flowing, keep them good. All right. So once again, if you're watching elsewhere, and you want to chat, hit up YouTube. Oh, I didn't know it inspired Beetlejuice's sandworms. That's cool. That's cool. Makes sense though. But yeah, isn't the is it Sarlacc pit in Star Wars has like a sand creature in it too? Okay, I missed your answer one, my D, and I don't want to go back. So you do tattoo art for a living? Is that correct? If so, that's cool. Actually, maybe what I'll do is have this be another arm, but it's like another gun. So yeah, welcome to Sci-Fi Sunday. Sketch Day Live. If you follow me on Instagram, please note I do have a YouTube channel. I don't know how so many of you don't know. I keep getting messages. Hey, do you have any tutorials? Do you have any stuff online? I'm like, yes, I have an entire whole ass YouTube channel you can check out. Oh, sweet one, Mighty. That's dope. I've had people say to me, oh, you should be a tattoo artist. I'm like, no, see, tattoo artists are actually like really good. I'm a scribbler. I do not have the the steady hand that you do. Mad respect for doing that. Steady hand, patience, and man, confidence. Like that is wild. I can't even imagine. Cannot even imagine. All right, so we can kind of keep messing with this rough sketch a little bit. All right, I definitely want to enhance the perspective here. Tiny shrink, and let's see, how am I doing on time? Let's see. All right, I'll do an overlay. We'll do a quick tune color. But yeah, mad respect. I don't think I could do that at all. All right, let's see, Sketch-A-Day pens. Do I want to use the fine liner? It's a bit intense. You got to be like on point with your lines. I mean, it could. Gives a nice crisp line. I'm just gonna hint at stuff, not really get too super detailed. My kids and I are gonna watch Dune in a little bit. So I watched it first, which I usually do just to make sure things are okay. So I watched it first, and then I'll go back and watch it with them. So a little trick here for you: if you are sketching digitally, try and draw bigger or zoom in. And you know, it's something you have to practice, but just keep track of where you are in your drawing. And when you zoom in, when you zoom in, you can kind of address any details just up close. And then when you zoom out, things should look way better. So like if I want, you know, some sort of hydraulic piece here, sketch that in. Maybe add some cables there. I miss drawing robots. I used to do them a lot more. And then people would always complain, that would never work. It's like, yeah, it would never work. That's why it's in my imagination. It's exactly why. Alright. I'm a little crazy with this foot here, but. Muhammad Ali, you need my help. What's up? What's your question? Oh, One Mighty, I missed your comment here. Hope I do some tutorials on perspective, furniture, cars. Do you mean if I teach a class? Is that what you mean? I'm just gonna do the other leg since I'm kind of in leg mode mentally. And then there was another comment here. Let's see. It was from Codeplay. How do you know when your hard reflections are good? Always feel weird about mine. That's a good question. I could teach a whole class on reflections. So that's the kind of thing I'm probably going to do. I'm not going to teach you how to sketch because I have all that stuff here on YouTube, but it'll be going into things like how do you develop your own style? Hard reflections. What's the how do you understand those so that you can draw them in a convincing way? Mine aren't perfect by any means, but they are grounded in principle. And if you understand those principles, it makes it a lot easier to kind of navigate all that. So I'm looking at this other leg just to make sure I have similar enough shapes. Right, I want to essentially, I don't want to use the word trick, but I want to convince whoever's looking at this that, oh, yeah, there's some symmetry here. This needs to be down a little lower. But just enough to be like, oh yeah. It's the same robot. But that is a good question. How to fix that a little bit. How to do hard reflections. There's a science on that. How does the golden ratio work? I don't know because I don't use it. I think the golden ratio is an attempt to find the rhyme and reason behind why some things are beautiful. I know it has some relation to Fibonacci sequence, which is a sequence of, I think it's a sequence of prime numbers, right? I forget the actual relationship, but in any case, I don't know. I try not to force anything into, I think a lot of these things can be useful guidelines, but they're not hard and fast rules. So things like the rule of thirds, for example, in illustration. It's a good place to start, but when you understand the why, like why it works, it's not so much about that specific proportion or ratio or whatever, but more so, hey, do you understand rhythm and balance in visual communication and how to use those in your compositions? So I think that's, for me anyways, that's what it's about. So I don't religiously follow it or anything. So yeah, I feel like if you're trying to follow something just to follow it, chances are you don't really understand it. Instead of saying, "Hey, what's the reason for the thing?" and then, you get creative, decide for yourself. What you're gonna do with it. That's the way I see it anyways. Thanks for joining me on Sketchaday Live. Sci-Fi Sunday. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Once again, using Photoshop today. Just by way of information, let's turn down our sketch here. You can kind of see, just pulling those details out, what it's starting to look like. It's kind of got this cool slumped look to it. And the cool thing about this technique, at least what I like, is I kind of have the rough idea down, and then I can kind of fill things in or change as I see fit along the way. Just kind of takes the pressure off getting it perfect. And even here, if I'm like, oh shoot, I need some clearance. Some clearance for this. It's like leg piece, so I can make a little change here. So I've been working on a digital like how to sketch guide for the last little bit, and I did put it on pause for a while, but I'm back. So I've been working on that furiously as well, trying to get as much done. It's gonna be huge. It won't be cheap, unfortunately, but if you are a Patreon or channel member, it will be included in your membership, so watch out for that. But I'll be going over principles, shall we say, of digital sketching, how I do things, how I think about things, how to go about all the questions you have that I get quite a bit. How do you decide what tablet to get? What's the best this or that? Kind of going over how I work and stuff. So watch out for that. I'm giving myself an arbitrary deadline. I don't even want to say it because I don't want y'all to hold me to it. But I'll just say that I'm making good progress right now. It feels good to be doing that. Also rewatching Ozark. That's been good. If you've never seen it, it is a very mature show, but it's really, really freaking good if you've never seen it. So if you want something cool to watch, I always talk about stuff I'm watching, but if you want something cool to watch, check out Ozark. It's really good. Thanks for the donations, contributions, and for your support. By the way, for those who are supporting me, I'm gonna zoom in for you Insta freaks. Thanks for the support. It means a lot. All right, I've got a lot of sorting out to do in this whole area, so I'm gonna be kind of riffing as I go. All right, might not be as clean as down here. Yeah, I don't know what style I want these guns to be on the bottom yet, so at least this part. So I'm going to leave that for now. We'll just keep building here. I had this little funky attachment on this side. And I do want to have something that comes out, so... kind of borrow this, almost like a valve or cylinder head cap on an engine. Sometimes I'll draw things where it doesn't necessarily make sense, but I know I'm gonna gray it out anyways, and it's something that, if I were to do a final sketch of, I could figure out along the way, so I'm not particularly worried about it. Okay, I think my kids are getting a little restless, so give me just a sec, and I will be right back. Can I start speaking an Australian accent? I don't want to offend anyone. But I can speak in a Jamaican accent because that's where I come from. Alright, no one's really watching the Instagram feed, so I'll probably shut that down in a minute. This is why I don't like streaming on Facebook's platforms. Because they limit your reach. It's super frustrating. Anyhow. And they don't like compensate you in any sort of way. So it's like almost this, as I like to call it, abusive relationship with the platform where they see the need for your content, but they're not really helping you. It's really weird. I like making some more music today. Would y'all be interested in seeing that process, by the way? I've thought about streaming it on occasion, but haven't worked up the courage to do it just yet. I'm definitely not good at it. Yep. What's up? Sorry, I thought my kids were calling me. Shout out and thanks again to the patrons and channel members. Much appreciated. Oh, you're from Jamaica too? A long time I go back a yard, you know. Long time for real. Hope everything alright. Life is good. Everything airy. I can usually tell some, you know, a long time I go back because me use them word where people don't really use again. I was just listening to I think I forgot which year it was, but I was just listening to some old dancehall music. I think it was 1995, 99. It's so different now. So yes, I am developing a course with Skillshare, I will say that, but I'm also working on my own stuff. Part of which is the whole guide thing. That's why I'm doing them. Just want to get ready to, you know, because it's like one thing to take a class and another to have materials to help you out that are specifically created for the class, and it takes a long time. It's not like something you can just whip up, you know. So I have my marker guide. That should give you an idea of things to come. Pen and ink guide as well. Now the digital guide, and then I'm going to be building some other smaller ones too. So, whoa. All of that to say, I hear you. I love drawing. It's so much fun. So there it is, kind of coming together. You can kind of see taking the bits from the underlay. Patois. Jamaican patois. Let's see. Okay, I'm still paying attention to chat. And you can ask me any questions. Like, career questions, life questions, dating questions. Although my dating answers will be simple. Will be don't date. I'm halfway joking. Halfway joking. Do I want to do that? I don't want to do that because I don't really have an answer for the other side. So sometimes you'll throw in like details, and then the thing is you have to be thinking, okay, how is that going to translate to the other side? So let's see, it's Danny Smickle. Do you still live there in Jamaica? How are things? I haven't been back in almost 11 years. Actually, more than 11 years. Almost 12 years. Am I using a mouse or pen? I'm using a pen. I'll show you what that looks like. This is my setup. So I've got my pen in my hand, keyboard over here in the corner. It's kind of hard to see. And then the screen that I can move around wherever I want it to be. So that's my new favorite setup and what I'm using. So yeah. Good question. Thank you. Blouse and skirt. Okay. Just making sure I'm good here. You know, I actually think one of the best drawing apps, super underrated, people don't use it very much, is Corel Painter. I haven't used it in a while just because Photoshop does a good enough job for me and what I want to do, but Painter is a really, really great app if you've never tried it. Cabs Gaming, what's up? Thanks, One Mighty. Do you use a Wacom yourself or no? I'm gonna stream this on Facebook for a little bit, drive people crazy, because that's the other thing. Everyone's like, why don't you stream on Facebook? It's like, because they don't pay me anything at all. At least with YouTube, there's a little bit of something. I'm gonna beef up the midsection of this robot as well. Let's see. Alright, give me just a sec here. Let's turn this puppy on. Okay, there we go. And we're live. You got a Huon tablet. How's that going? Is it good quality? I tried one of the cheaper tablets before, and it was a complete nightmare for me. So if it worked for you, that's great. But never had a good experience using one. All right, there's a couple funky things happening in my drawing here that I'm going to try and fix. For example, this central piece just feels really weak. So I either need to scale it up, which I can kind of do here, I think. Let's see if we can fudge something. All right, so we'll start with that. We'll start there. Just felt like it needed to be beefier. And then some of these cables are in a weird spot. And there's no yeah, see, this is a little bit beefier. There's no I'm trying to think of the right word. Pivot. So I'm gonna tweak this a bit. I suppose the pivot could handle or be it could be in a piece like right here. There could be some, rotational pivot that I just hide right in there. So I can live with that, but I need to beef this up. Yeah, see, that feels way better. Now, because I want to work a little closely here. See, I can't exactly take this arm and like move it. You can't really do that. I mean, I could try, but it's not gonna quite work. Save me some time though. Maybe I could. Let's use that as a starting point. Maybe I'll take my words back. Yeah, see, the positioning's like off. So that's not really gonna work because this would have to be able to pivot a certain way that it's not right now. So I'm just gonna use this as reference and then we'll draw it the right way. All right, so I have a little piece out here. Let me think about this. So back there. All right, give me just a second. I'm flipping this in my head mentally. I'm trying to think through what this would look like. My brain is not functioning right now. Yeah, something like that. Huan is okay. I don't even know how to pronounce the word. Huan? Hello, Mizad. How's it going? All right, it is in the background as well, so I can also cheat a little bit with the details here, because this is going to be mostly grayed out, or either grayed or shaded out. Not as worried. Cool. Kind of like how that's pointing down to kind of get this almost arm-like movement thing happening. And then here, just for good measure, I'll include some indication of maybe a way for this to pivot. It doesn't have to be complete, but just enough to say that this can rotate down. It's looking pretty good, I think. It's coming together. And since I kind of went with this square shape, I'm going to go with a square shape on this cannon here as well. Just kind of line that up. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. At least I like it. All right, so I'm going to make a new layer finally. And let's do kind of this cockpit area. See how things look. Again, if you have questions, you want to chat, whatever, join me on the YouTube, youtube.com/sketchday.com. Be sure to subscribe, say hello, high five, all the good things. Good vibes only. Otherwise, ain't nobody got time for that. Greetings to you from Salt Lake City, Utah. Home base for Sketch a Day. My arms are totally sore, by the way. My lymph nodes and arms. I got the booster shot. So I got a little bit sore. Unfortunately. Alright. Let me focus. I got a little distracted. Catching up on the socials. Alright, so I'm going to start with these bars. These bars! That was the greatest Kanye West song, by the way, if you missed it. His greatest work was Lift Yourself. And then things got weird. Not that they weren't weird then, but I like to tell that to Kanye fans, and then they just go crazy. What? I'm like, yeah. Lift yourself. Kind of borrow a little bit from some submarine type stuff here. Okay. I will say it's weird hearing like songs I created as the background music for the stream. But it was the only way to make sure that I wasn't getting copyright strikes. You know? The set design in Dune is incredible, though, I will say. The set and prop, concept design, all the vehicles, the buildings, the suits, the fashion, the apparel, everything was just really well done. That'd be a fun industry to work in. Of course, you probably need a lot of patience, you know, working on one thing for years, knowing the plots of all your favorite genre hit movies, and then, you know, not being able to tell anyone. That'd be kind of hard, wouldn't it? I feel like it would be hard. Be hard to like keep quiet, but also, man, you just have all the spoilers. Like a friend of a friend I saw worked on Dune, and I was like, this was a work 2 years in the making. I was like, oh. And even though the culmination of my work was 90, or was it 90 seconds or 9 seconds of the movie, I was like, what? For 9 months of work? That's wild. It's also the reason I didn't pursue that car design career path, because these things just take a long time. And I'm impatient. I mean, even this, considering, is me taking a long time on a sketch, so. Sketch Day Live, thanks for joining, being a part of the stream. If it's your first time, hit subscribe. Turn on alerts so you'll know when I stream. I always get questions. When do you stream? And it's like, I stream when I want to, okay? And I've tried the schedule thing. It doesn't really work for me. Because some days I don't feel like doing it. Just saying. Using my little tricks here again. Save some time. So yeah, best thing you can do is turn on alerts, and then yeah, turn on alerts, subscribe, and then you won't miss it. Guys, move back a little bit. There. All right. Okay, so I'll merge that down. And then just do a quick check here on our line work. It's looking pretty good, I think. This cannon could be a bit bigger on this side, so I say that because of just perspective stuff. So I need to scale this one up. Right, because I got these. I'll show you real quick. Effectively trying to do, actually there's more like the halfway point. So trying to get that perspective going. You know, hopefully you can kind of see that, what's happening. So I don't typically draw those, but just to show you. All right, so now that's all merged. Just do a little cleanup here. Try to decide cockpit wise what I want to do. Yeah, it could be glass of some sort. Hmm. Start from the beginning again. All right. Currently choosing a university degree. What would you say is the difference between product design and industrial design? Oh, that's such a good question and tragic at the same time. So, product design is an attempt by user interface and user experience designers to define what they do. And, hey, Tomas, in doing so, they've co opted that term. Industrial designers also tried to define themselves as product designers. However, there's an understanding that product has more to do with digital goods than it does physical goods. So if you see someone looking for, say, a product designer, that kind of thing, that's weird. If you see someone looking for a product designer, chances are they're looking for like a UX, UI designer, not so much an industrial designer, and that's okay. But that is the difference. Product design typically refers to digital products, services, and then industrial design is going to be your industrial design is going to be your like hard goods, stuff like that. It's unfortunate just because industrial design is such a confusing term as it is. Like you tell people, oh yeah, I'm studying industrial design, and they're like, oh, you're going to design factories? It's like, no. It's not what I'm doing. It's not what I do, I promise. So that is the rub, my friend. That's what you're going to have to explain to people all the time if you choose industrial design. So I have been both. I've been a product designer and I've been an industrial designer. I will say that product designers get paid more than industrial designers. That's just where the money is right now. So you don't become an industrial designer for money. You do it for the love. And hopefully your student loans won't be too high if you are taking out loans, because you will not be making a ton of money. That's not true for every industrial designer, but it's rough. Tell you what. Car designers make decent money, at least when I was looking into it. That, of course, may be different now. But that was the case back in the day. Also, just remember, design is extremely competitive. So if you're going to go at it, just make sure you're the best. I don't say this all to depress you and discourage you from doing it. I just want to be real about it, because your school's not going to be real with you. They want to make the monies, get you to do the courses, I'm just saying, it's really, really competitive. So just be prepared to work really hard. All right. I'm liking these lines. Let's give myself a little bit more room with the crop. And then I'm just going to rough out a little shadow here. Seems like I've got the dream job, being able to do a bit of everything and sharing my passion. Thank you. Right now, honestly, I do a lot of things. I make my own products and I sell them. And those are digital and physical. I teach. I do a bit of career coaching. I stream. I do design consulting. Right? So, yeah, I do a lot of things. And I fancy myself more of a creative person than specifically a designer these days. Just because, yeah, it's hard to just be like, yeah, I do this one thing and that's it, because I don't. I do a lot of things. A lot of things I don't talk about or tell people necessarily. I'm trying to be better at that. You know, do the LinkedIn roadshow, whatever stuff. Because I keep running into people who are like, so what do you do? What do you do? I'm like, I thought I explained that. But I haven't done a good job, I will say. So yeah, maybe I'll stream on Insta more, maybe not, but let's see, how did this stream do on Instagram? We've got a grand total of 6 people watching. Oh my god. Nope. Mark Zuckerberg. And I think on Facebook, what is it? 2 people watching. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this down. Thanks. Most important thing, am I happy? Absolutely. Like, I'm the happiest I've ever been, career wise. Doing what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. It is, or has been, tremendously satisfying. I'm just calculating where to put some shadowy stuff here. Just a little rough sketch. Figure it out. And then I'll just rough poly lasso. Okay, I was just making sure I did that. on a separate layer for a second there. I wasn't sure. So that would be tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Do you want your money back? Yes or no? So the one is not it. Oh, okay.
All right. I don't think I'm going to color this one up today because of time, but you at least kind of saw the process.
Do you want your money back?
As I say that, I'm like
Yes or no?
starting the process of coloring it up, but I'll just do some gray blocking about that. Can be useful if you're just working quick, doing something like this.
Do you want your money back? Yes or no? So the one is not it. Oh, okay.
So anywhere there's like an articulation point, or maybe it's the tips of these weapons or something, just kind of block that in. And then shadows as well, just to give it some quick depth. I really like this. So this is the core airbrush that I use, but I like it because it has like a nice tight core on it. So if I'm applying my shadow cores, I can just move really quickly and get the intensity I want. You know, 1 or 2 strokes instead of having to like consistently adjust the airbrush. It's just there. So if you want to check that out, that is available at sketchday.com, or if you're a channel member or patron on patreon.com/sketchday and have been so for 2 months, I will hook it up. If you want to try them out. So I was talking with a friend of mine who's a comic book artist, and one of the questions he hates the most is how long did that take you to draw? But he gave me a good answer for it. I don't mind when people ask, but he gave me a good answer, and I liked it. And he was like, it took me 40 years. And I thought about that and I was like, yeah. It's not about just time to completion, but also, you know, how long did you work to get as good as you are? And kind of having people recognize that it's not just about the fact that something, you know, didn't take you too long or whatever. But more so, it's all about the experiences you have, your dedication. You know, because a lot of things like shortcuts or approaches to visualization, those are things you kind of learn as you go. Sometimes you learn them from other people, but a lot of times it's your own experimentation and figuring out your own style that kind of leads you there. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna upload this to the Google Drive. This will be available for patrons and channel members, so you can check that out. You'll have the full PSD file to take a look at. Much love and thank you today. Just to take a look at our other sketch, our warm-up sketch. Oops. No, you're seeing all my proprietary work. I can't show you that stuff. Okay, let's go to it. Hover. All right. So that was the sketch we started out with today. Just a little warm-up. And here is the mech. I also uploaded this iron that I did in a workshop to the Google Drive. So if you want to check that out, you can. Download it, analyze it, whatever you want to do. Put it on a t-shirt if you want to. It's all good. But that will be available. What does working hard to become a competitive designer mean? What should you focus on? I think it means sharpening all your skills, which is a big ask. So that might mean, you know, being good at CAD design. It might mean being good at CAD. It might mean sharpening your sketch skills, your analytical skills, research, your ability to do presentations, to speak well, to write well, all those things together. But then you want to try and find something that differentiates you, something that makes you different, and lean into that. Right? So whether that's, hey, I'm gonna be really, really good at visualization. I can do the other stuff, but I'm going to focus on that. Cool. And maybe that's aligned with your passion and what interests you the most, which is going to make it easier. But I would say be well-rounded, but then find something that like makes you stand out, Bastian, that makes you like, okay, I got to hire this person for this particular thing. So that's what I would say. All right, I'm going to sign off for today. Much love once again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all the patrons and channel members for your support. Much love, much appreciated. Good things abound and are in store. That's all I'll say. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Definitely give back if you can. Take some time to teach someone, to explain a concept. It's going to help you get better in the long run. Peace out, Instagrammers. Thanks for hanging. And take care. I'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday.